Welcome to CDMO Career Stories, part of the Metric Podcast Network. The careers that shape the CDMO and biopharma industry rarely follow a straight line. This show is about the people behind them. Every episode, we sit down with senior leaders and commercial practitioners to talk about the decisions that define them, how they build and lead high-performing teams, how they win business, and where the talent landscape is heading next.
Day 3 here at DCAT in New York, and I'm joined with Angelika Rublack, someone I've known in the industry for a long time and good friend as well. So welcome, Angelika. Thanks for taking time out of what I'm sure is a very busy schedule. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit for those who don't know?
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, my pleasure being here. So we are in New York. What better place could it be to go into a podcast? So very happy we are meeting up together.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's been 3 good days so far. So yeah, I'm Angelika, like you said. I'm from Germany, and but in the industry for meanwhile 18 years in pharmaceutical sales. I cannot do anything else than sales. I'm doing it my whole life since almost 30 years in total now. Yeah, that's me.
Nice.
Happy being here.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been in the industry for 25, 30 years?
In sales for 30 years,
Sales
in
for
the
30 years.
industry, in the pharmaceutical industry for 18 years now.
So how did you get into this space specifically?
Oh, it was, just a matter of the right time and the right occasion, I would say. So I started in the chemical industry and wanted to see then after 10 years what's outside in the world, what's else outside in the world. I did something completely different. I worked for a TV shopping channel for 2 years, which was a crazy experience. However, wanted to go back to my roots and checked a bit on companies I was interested in, and landed in a pharmaceutical company with, at this time, 400 people on site in a place called Hameln in Germany.
Yep.
So known for the famous fairy tale of the Pied Piper, obviously. And this company then was my starting point on the pharmaceutical industry and got acquired 5 years afterwards by Siegfried. And then you can say the real ride began. Yep. So it was a suddenly really large global pharmaceutical business. It was a really a flower pot of chances we had and we saw. And yeah, so that's where I came into the global structure, let's say, of pharmaceutical industry.
So you've had some really interesting experience because you've worked in both larger and smaller organizations, and you've held both leadership and individual roles.
Yes.
So I guess how have those been different for you? I mean, have you enjoyed them both equally, would you say?
Yeah, so I would say small and larger companies both have pros and cons. That's the first part of the answer. When it comes to leadership, you differentiate between lateral and direct leadership. So the lateral leadership, especially in sales in the pharmaceutical, is a very important part to work good together with your comrades in the organization. That's the more challenging part, indeed, because you don't have direct reports there. It's lateral. So you need to build up a culture of trust of responsibility. I very much appreciated when I got the chance years ago to build up my own team, my own sales team. That is a really, really exciting task, a responsive task I took over. And I was very lucky with my team members I got for my team. I spoke to every individual before, asked him or her if he would be open or she would be open to join the team. And everybody said yes, fortunately. So I was a very lucky starter with my team. And we built up that very good, organized and well-working sales team with a site, with the connection to the site where the team was located, but also with cross-selling in other sites with projects. which especially for young and dynamic people gives really a great opportunity to grow, to collect a lot of knowledge, to develop personally. Yeah, so the first wins you have in a project, not the first win at all, that is that is something you will never forget, right? So my personal biggest successes with my mentors I had at that time, and I had fortunately some mentors in my life. Yeah, started very early, and I was accompanied by mentors, and I'm always said to myself, I would like to give the same back. Yeah, so the first really win when you have the first contract signed with maybe millions of euros or dollars or whatever, that's really something which stays into your mind and which really motivates people, of course, leading a team has not only sunny sides, of course, it's always a challenge, you need to bring a healthy competition into your team. That's an important part, but it shouldn't be a toxic competition.
It's not easy to get that right balance.
That's true. And teams which are simply only under or just under pressure, and competing really hard with each other, it won't work out in the end, right? So you have to have a dynamic where everybody is happy for the comrade to make a business, to get the positive feedback, all contributing to the same targets.
Sense of like community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and how can you do that? So my way and my path I followed is what I learned myself from my mentors. So you need a really big portion of trust. You need to trust your people. In our days, we are talking about home office versus going back to work. That's a good example. So why should I force my team members going to the office every day, spending hours on the car or train, whatever, if they are more efficient and also working great from home, and they can do deep dives into the topics, they are not disturbed. I think there is an ideal mix, spending time with your teammates in the office, but also working from home. But I think it's all a matter if you trust your team. You simply rely that they will work wherever they are.
And hiring is difficult when you can't always get it right, I guess.
Sure.
So have you ever made a mistake hiring, or have you ever made like a bad hire in the past?
No, I wouldn't. No, so definitely not. No. It's never perfect. But I wouldn't go that far that I would call it a bad hire. I wouldn't call it that way. So of course, you always make your first impression of people. You see people. They answer your questions. You make your opinion about them. Sometimes, however, it becomes obvious they are not what they are, what they seems to be, but that shouldn't be negative. So the best thing is get out the best of your team members. So try to use them as best as they can perform, use them according to their strengths. So in sales you need to be very communicative. That's a sales thing. Shouldn't be shy in talking. You should be good in negotiating. However, if you have a team member who's not so experienced, there are so many courses you can take. There are so many things you can do, as long the person wants to go the way together with you. Just when you come to a point that you feel, okay, this person isn't perfect for the role, and he or she does not want to develop, then you have indeed a bad hire. But I did not have such a case, fortunately, so far for myself.
So how do you develop internal teams to make them a high-performing team that you can trust and work well together?
I think one is giving clear guidelines and structure. I think clear targets and reasonable and achievable targets. Yeah, that's one thing. And also giving them the confidence they can always come to you as a leader. Leadership means be there for your people, be there for your team. But on the other hand, give them a lot of autonomy. Yeah, so where they are good in, you just, ask them from time to time, how are things going on? And you just get the report. That's the easiest thing. You see the results. Yeah, development is also very individual. So all of your team members are individuals and need individual, development and development steps and targets. However, there needs to be a common target. Yeah, so where everybody should be happy and motivated to reach it.
So I guess goes back to your first point of like communication.
Exactly.
Being so fundamental in sales anyway.
Exactly.
So of course, 30 really good, strong years in the industry, and a lot more ahead. What motivates you to keep bringing in new business and developing these relationships?
I mean, look where we are, Charlie. We are sitting together in New York. We are meeting so many interesting people here. We are a part of a global pharmaceutical life-saving industry. What else would we need, to keep us motivated?
That's a good answer. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So, of course, sales is tough. CDMO sales is very tough. So if someone was to, I guess, come in under you, or if you were looking to hire someone in a leadership position to take on a similar sort of role to your current one, what sort of traits, characteristics would they have to be successful?
For me, and you might find that a bit funny, but for me the most important characteristic is empathy. That you have a clear understanding and also a feeling what your customer needs, when he needs it, why he needs it. So people in sales, leaders have to be empathetic. They have to be reliable. I think these both combinations, these both characteristics are the success key. And somebody who wants to get into a leadership role should have that empathy for the customers and for the teams.
Yeah.
And then he or she will be very successful.
Yeah.
And you need, of course, you need to be patient.
Which isn't easy.
Especially, it's never easy. Yeah, it is. But we are in the pharmaceutical industry. So things simply take time. Projects can fail. Projects are always a roller coaster of emotions for everybody. Yeah. So you are happy once you signed your project, but then there will come the first hurdles.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will have a lot of problems to solve. You need to be a really good troubleshooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as long as you're reliable and empathetic to the team and customer, this all will fly.
And I guess hopefully or possibly someone that ticks some of those boxes. As part of my next question, we always like to ask who we should be talking to next, someone that's, I guess, impacted your career or someone that you know in industry. So who would you nominate, I guess, or recommend we bring on the next show?
This is a difficult question, Charlie, because there are so many people who influenced me.
Yeah.
Actually, from both sides. So my mentors, of course, the people who believed in me, who always said, okay, you can make it, trust your feelings, trust what you can do. But there are also a lot of people who influenced me, let's say, from the other side. Yeah, so from my customer side, success stories, people I grew together with. Yeah, so starting business with when the company was a handful of people, and now there are a couple of hundred, maybe even 1,000 people in that company. And yeah, so there are too many, but many interesting people for sure to interview for you.
You can send us some names later.
Yes.
So to wrap up, 3 quick fire questions.
Mhm.
So first of all being, what has been some really good career advice that you've either given to someone else or someone's given to you?
Don't believe in a no when you get it,
That's good. I like that. That's good.
because a no can be a yes if you're more persistent.
Sure. And then maybe that leads into the next question of a trait that a leader has got to have in 2026. So what sort of characteristics has a leader got to have to be successful, do you think, in CDMO in 2026?
Your networking skills are very important.
Yeah.
I think the competition in the pharmaceutical industry is not getting smaller. Yeah, it's indeed getting bigger and bigger competition.
Yep.
So you need to have your network. You need to have your ears and eyes.
Yep.
You need to follow interesting podcasts, for example, but also watch out for fundings. Watch out for mergers and acquisitions.
Ears to the ground.
And really do your homework.
Yeah.
And of course, you need to have the right people on board. You need to have the right team.
For sure. And then our last question would be a book or a podcast, like you said, or a person that's influenced your thinking recently.
It's the same, saying names now. When I say 1 or 2 names, I would feel unfair. It would feel unfair to many others. So who influences me the most is my husband, who gives me, who holds my back free and who's always believing in me. And there are many other people who are believing in me.
That's some good answers there. I like that. That felt like we'd practiced it.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for coming on, Angelika. Great to see you in New York, and have a good rest of DCAT week.
Likewise, Charlie. It was my pleasure.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Thanks.